go over some of the tools you'll need to create some wood grating. These are my application brushes. I'll use these to apply base coats and to apply glazes over the base coats. They're a simple 2-inch and a 2.5-inch angle sash brush. The synthetic hairs allows for oil paint or latex paint. This is one of my favorite brushes for creating wood grating. It's a 2.5-inch China bristle. One thing nice about this brush, if you notice these ends of these bristles stay open, that allows for some nice wood graining effects. Comes in a 2.5-inch or 2-inch to get in some tighter areas. This is a specialty brush designed to do wood graining. Again, if you notice these end bristles are kept open, that creates some nice effects. These are more expensive, these brushes. They can be found in a specialty paint store, but they are not necessary to create wood graining effects. You can get some of the same effects with these more inexpensive brushes here. This is a rocker tool. This gives you that authentic wood grain look. It's a very nice tool to have. It's very important to keep these grooves clean after each use. Simple erasers can create some really nice wood graining. A simple number 2 pencil with a red eraser on the end, or a larger red eraser like this, creates some nice wood graining effects. This is a number 10 artist brush. I use this to apply glazes, especially to get into some tighter areas. Occasionally I'll use a goose feather to create some wood grain looks, especially some burl work. And rags are very important too. This will be used to keep your brushes clean and also to wipe some of the glaze back to create some nice wood grain. Let's take a look at a real piece of stained wood. This is a piece of cherry that's been stained and lacquer finished. If you look closely at this, you'll see some subtle darker line in here. That is the wood grain itself. And below that is this bright, intense color. This color here is what we're going to achieve by doing our base coat color with the first glaze applied over it. The darker color, the grain itself, will be our second glaze applied over that to create the wood grain. Let's take a closer look at a full finished sample board. If you look closely here, underneath this dark line, you see a bright color that glows. This is the base coat color with the first glaze applied on top of it. This darker line is the second glaze. And with this rocker tool, you can create this authentic wood grain look. Let's take a look at the colors we'll use today to create this full finish wood grain effect. This is our base coat, which is an intense orange color. This is an oil glaze that will be applied over this to create the richness of the wood. And this is another oil glaze that will be applied over these two to create the wood graining effect. Let's do a short introduction on how to mix an oil glaze. What I have here on my palette is an artist glaze that's already mixed up. How I achieve that is by taking artist oil paints that come in these tubes and mixing it with a glaze medium. This is a glaze medium called Liquid, made by Winsor Newton. The object of a glaze is to thin out the oil color so it has a transparency to it. If you notice, this color has a transparency to it. It'll allow the base coat colors to shine through when we're creating our wood graining. I'm going to apply my oil glaze. What I want to do is get it on as quickly as I can. You want to put it on evenly so the value is the same throughout. What I'm going to do is try to even it out as best as I can. Then I'm going to take my 100% China bristle brush, and I'm just going to do a horizontal wood grain effect by dragging the brush across the glaze. What I'll be doing is taking glaze off each time I do that, so I want to wipe my brush occasionally to get that glaze off the bristles. The purpose here is to put a subtle mark into the glaze and also to remove some of the glaze to get the correct value. You can also use a specialty brush like this. I can show you the effects that this will make. Right now I'm going to use the tips of the bristles, and I'm just going to shake it a little bit, come across the glazed surface. You can also use this part of the brush down by the furrow by laying it really flat and dragging it. And you can simply use the center of the bristles and pull it straight across too. You want to smooth out your glaze as best you can after applying it. You can see how the intense base coat shines through, giving it a glow like real wood has. I'm going to use this graining rocker tool to create an authentic wood grain look. The application of this is to push it firmly against the surface and rock it back and forth.